we did a TDM survey there. So that project is again just outside the margin of the basin by the West Bear deposit on the east side, and that one has seen some historical work in the past, less than Rocus. But there is some really good uranium showings at surface, a couple mineralized drill holes, and known conductors there.
All right, welcome back inside our proactive newsroom. And joining me now is Sean Hilliger. He is the Vice President of Exploration for Standard Uranium. And Sean, great to see you again. How are you?
Likewise, Steve, doing well, thanks.
Awesome. So the company had news out today talking about basically an update on your geophysical work that you're doing at three of your projects. So I know this is type of work that you've been doing a lot of recently and sort of de-risking a lot of these projects. Is that the best way to describe it, Sean?
That's right, Steve. It really, sticks with our project generation side of things on these Eastern projects, like you said, de-risking them and pushing them towards drill ready and turnkey opportunities for potential partners to come in and earn into.
Well, let's talk about them, starting with Atlantic and Rocus rather. You've done some significant work on those two.
That's right, Steve. So we drilled Atlantic for the first time. It's a couple different claim blocks. It's right by the Hurricane deposit, over on the eastern side of the basin. So we drilled on the western claim block, saw some really good results, some uranium mineralization, really good looking alteration, and shear zones and graphitic rocks. But this new survey package we did was on the central claim block of Atlantic, which is actually closer to the Hurricane deposit. So what we did there is ground gravity. Same goes with Rocus. That's just south of Key Lake, just outside the Athabasca Basin margin. So what that does is potentially identifies density anomalies, which can represent alteration halos associated with uranium. So it's a really good survey to do to integrate with the EM survey, having those graphitic conductors, but where do we want to target a drill hole along those conductors? And that's what the gravity helps us do, is pinpoint where we want to go and hopefully identify those density lows that could represent alteration.
Okay, and you did some airborne work at Corvo, is that right?
That's right, Steve. We did a TDM survey there. So that project is again just outside the margin of the basin by the West Bear deposit on the east side. And that one has seen some historical work in the past, less than Rocus. But there is some really good uranium showings at surface, a couple mineralized drill holes, and known conductors there. But the conductor signatures we had were from fairly old surveys. So that was a really good way to come in and upgrade that project immediately with the airborne EM and really define those conductive corridors to push it towards drill ready and look where we want to go. So that one just finished, and we're working on getting that data all modeled, and we'll see what comes out of it. But I'm really excited to see the results.
Sean, just on the generator part of things, you've gotten to these projects to a certain point of doing a lot of work that are here right now, and obviously you like to bring in partners to sort of take you to the next stages. But do you look at projects one by one and get to a point where it's like, okay, now we'll hold and wait for the partner, or can you continue to do work as well until you were able to find a partner?
Yeah, that's a good question. So with that strategy and that part of the business, we have our team of geologists here in-house, so we're constantly looking at the land, evaluating it. There's not much room for good land to pick up in the basin right now. It's very staked up. So we keep our ear to the ground and a close eye on the staking system there to see what's lapsing, what's coming due, and what we can potentially pick up. So we've been really fortunate to add, more than 45,000 acres of land to our project portfolio in the last year, including expansions at Corvo and Ascent, and then picking up Rocus and Umbra and Sable. So it's a good process we have where we evaluate the projects, we see what's been done. Saskatchewan has a fantastic database of geoscience information, so you can look at what work has been done and evaluate them from there, and then we can go in and choose what kind of surveys we want to do to add the most value and, like you said, kind of get them teed up for a partner to come in. So that's kind of the process we go through, and it's nice to have that reference material there so we can be like, okay, so an EM survey upgrades this one significantly. We already have good EM on this one, so let's do gravity. So we, can use that integrative approach to exploration. So to answer your question, I guess we do get it to a certain point, do some relatively inexpensive geophysical surveys to start and get those drill targets ready so that we can, keep it in good standing and present that to a partner and the opportunity there for them to come in and earn into it. So it works really well for us to keep busy, to add value to the company and our land portfolio, and then creates that turnkey opportunity for a new entrant or a partner to come in and not have to worry about any of the red tape, the permitting, the First Nations agreements, and then the geoscience there as well. So it's we create that value and that opportunity.
Yeah. And as you've shown in the past, it seems to be working as well. So, Sean, thanks so much. Great to catch up with you and appreciate the update on these three projects. And I know we'll be talking again real soon.
Thanks, Steve. Appreciate it.
All right. Sean Hilliker, the Vice President of Exploration at Standard Uranium.